Hi everyone, Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome! This channel is for Japanese learners of English. Kiyomo shadowing no lesson wo yarakimashou. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Practice daily to master tango, bunpao, hatsuan, and rhythm. Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Zehi. Channel no toroku wo onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Ever been in a spot where you needed to call someone back but didn't know the right words? Well, it turns out there's a whole bunch of ways to say, I'll call you back in English, each with a slightly different flavor.
Exactly. It's not just, I'll call you back, right? It's also about the when, the why, and how formal you want to be.
Right? Like you could say, I'll call you right back if it's super urgent, or let me call you back when you need a sec, maybe to gather your thoughts, or, I don't know, find a quiet spot.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It is that little nuance that changes everything. I'll call you back later, says you're going to get to it, but can I call you back is more asking for permission.
Exactly. That's a good one. See that last one, can I call you back? Implies you need that permission right.
Yeah, totally. You're kind of putting the ball in their court. Yeah. And it isn't just about the I either, is it? What if someone else is going to call them back?
Yeah. So like if you're at work and your colleague is going to call someone, you can say, I'll have him call you back, or I'll ask her to call you back. That makes it clear it's not you doing the calling, right?
Right. You're shifting the responsibility, saying someone else will take care of it. What I find interesting is that call you back isn't the only way to say it.
Yeah, that's just true. We also have return your call, which is a bit more formal, like you want to sound a bit more professional, right?
Right. It's like, I'll return your call shortly is a great way to say you'll get back to them soon. And that word shortly kind of gives you a bit of time.
It does, doesn't it? Now, if you really want to be clear about who's doing the callback, how would you say that in English?
Well, you could say, I'll call you back from my side, or I'll call you back from here. Those are pretty specific. You're telling it's you who will be making the return call.
Yeah, that's clear enough and super useful, when there's a chance of confusion. From my side, that says it all, doesn't it?
It does, and it's really helpful in business settings. What if you need to get more info before calling back? How do you navigate that?
Oh, that's a good one. I guess you could say something like, would you mind holding while I confirm that for you? And that tells the caller, I'm going to look into it before we continue.
Exactly. It's showing them you're taking care of it, but you need a moment. And after the hold, you might say, thank you for holding, which is like the polite thing to do, right?
Totally. Or if you are not going to call them right back, you might say, I'll call you back later, which is more of a general statement.
Right. And adding later gives you some wiggle room. It's less specific than right back.
But what about when the person you need to talk to isn't around? How do you handle it?
That's a whole other ballgame, right?
Yeah.
You could say, I'm afraid he, she is not available at the moment, or he is on another line. And then you'd have to ask, would you like him, her to call you back later?
Yes. And what about if the person calling doesn't give their name? That is a common one. You can just say, may I have your name, please? Or if you need the company name, too, could you tell me the name of your company?
Yeah, those are crucial. Or sometimes you might need the name again, right?
Yeah, then you can say, I am, sorry, could I have your name again? Could you repeat your name?
Yeah, and sometimes they can have difficult or unusual names. So you got to ask them to spell it out. Would you mind spelling your name, please?
Exactly. And then what if you are the one who's calling? What phrases would you use then to ask someone to call back?
You could say, would you mind asking him to call me back? Or, could you tell him to call me back when he returns? Or just leave your number and hope for the best.
Okay, that seems right. I guess it is always good to confirm that you have noted their details accurately.
Yeah, so you can say, oof, let me just repeat that. So both sides are clear about what info you have.
That's a good tip. And what if it is you who wants to call them back, but not right now?
You might say, I'll give him a call later today, or I'll call back later, are great options for that case.
So lots of ways to say the same thing, but with a slightly different nuance, huh?
Definitely. It's all about context, being polite, and making sure you get your point across clearly.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? 理解できない部分はありませんでしたか? Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Please let me know your kanso or request in the comments. ぜひチャンネルの登録をお願いします. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next time. Bye bye.